Hey there, and welcome back to the channel. We have some breaking news in the NFL. Zadarius Smith has been traded from the Minnesota Vikings over to the Cleveland Browns. Now, this is a pretty monumental trade in the NFL world, considering that Zadarius Smith was a productive pass rusher, especially in the first half of the season. The second half of the season, he really slowed down his production, but for the first 8 weeks of the season, he was right at the very top of the sack leaderboards. Definitely slowed down as the season progressed, started to wear a little bit. But Zadarius is still a productive pass rusher. He's a three-time Pro Bowler and a guy that is going to make a significant impact in a defensive rotation. The Minnesota Vikings are receiving a fifth-round pick in 2024, a fifth-round pick in 2025. The Browns are getting obviously Za'darius along with a sixth in 2025 and a seventh in 2025. So looking at this trade holistically, I don't think the Vikings do super great in this, considering that Zadarius Smith, I mean, he is still going to be productive, through the remainder of this season, this upcoming season anyway. I think he could be a 10 sack guy once again this year. I'm looking at it from the pass rushing perspective of the Minnesota Vikings, and there's going to be a couple of different guys that are going to have to step up for them. Za'Darius going to Cleveland is going to help them out immensely. They're trying to compete in that AFC North division, and I think Zadarius Smith is going to be a huge addition for this team. You consider Za'Darius has been productive wherever he's gone, whether that's been Baltimore or Green Bay, Minnesota. He gets the job done. I think it's going to be a seamless transition over there to the Browns organization. And the Browns do well here. I mean, they don't have to give up too much in order to acquire him. 2 fifth-round picks, plus they're netting back 2 picks as well. I think they do really nicely in this trade. From the Vikings perspective, I understand that now they're at an impasse here. They have to make some very tough decisions. When you consider the contract of Justin Jefferson being up, essentially, they have to go ahead and clear some money. They've done that with releasing and not re-signing of some of the key veterans on the roster, such as Patrick Peterson, Eric Kendricks, and now Zadarius Smith is on his way out. Now we have to think about how seismic of an impact this is going to be on what was already the 31st ranked defense in the entire NFL. You're losing a nice pass rusher, from your rotation. They did not make that a high priority this offseason. They ended up they had signed Marcus Davenport, so that was kind of the key plug and play, but we have to remember that was on a 1-year deal. So maybe they're able to, re-sign Davenport long term, but we saw the writing on the wall for the Minnesota Vikings. We saw that Davenport was going to be, a key part to this season and hopefully well beyond that. But looking at it from this perspective, now they have their pass rusher currently in Smith and Davenport. Cleveland goes ahead and adds a multi-time Pro Bowler to a defense that needs to continue to improve. They're in a tough division, trying to obviously win it. Baltimore got better this offseason. Cincinnati is going to be very good. And I think Pittsburgh also improved. So I'm looking at that holistically. That division will be better next year, in my opinion. Now, Cleveland had to really move the needle, so they felt that they had to get the job done. Kwesi, I think in this trade here, I understand where he was coming from. I think there was a little bit more to be had with the compensation return that they ended up getting. However, maybe he did the best that he could. I'm not exactly sure. I'm kind of looking at, Kwesi's familiarity with the Cleveland organization, knows a lot of the guys over there. So maybe he just felt comfortable making a trade with them. So overall, when you're looking at the net trade here, Zadarius Smith going to the Cleveland Browns is an impactful move. It's one that is going to move the needle this upcoming season. Very well could be a 10-plus sack guy in the right situation, and I think that's very realistic if he's able to stay healthy. Looking at it from the Vikings perspective, they're clearing up some money. They're definitely handing the keys to Marcus Davenport as really being the plug-and-play guy into transition into this Brian Flores-led defense. And they're netting some draft pick capital, some better draft pick capital than they are currently trading away. So overall, I think that the Browns get the slight edge in this trade. However, the Vikings do okay by netting 2, mid-round picks here. looking at a 5th-round pick, 2 5th-round picks, little towards the end of that draft. But I think that they can make a couple of different adjustments moving forward. They had to save some money, and I think that there are some other trades currently on the horizon for this organization. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, leave a like on today's video if you do enjoy NFL content. We continue to produce that on a weekly basis, so make sure you don't miss out, and we'll see you in the very next Utility Sports video.